Really good. It's good to finally get here. It's been a long time since I signed for the club, so it's good to get amongst the team. I think when I signed, it's a different team to what it is now. You'll know it's a champion team with a trophy. When I signed, I spoke to Steve and Bernard, and it was clear that the club are very ambitious and really want to go on to the next level. Obviously, in the time since I signed, they've won the Challenge Cup, which makes it a whole new challenge for not only the team but me personally. I'm coming into a successful side now with some silverware that we need to defend. So it was, when I was coming, I was speaking to Bernard about how special it'd be to be a part of the first Catalan side to win a trophy. Obviously, they've done that without me anyway. So now it's the challenge is to take it to that next level and be consistent as a club. We want to be competing for both the big trophies every single year. We don't want last year to just be a one-off. The first few days have been brilliant. I drove over with a couple of friends and just been getting to know the area, having a walk around Perpignan and trying to find my bearings, trying to find the supermarket and all the basics. But it's been good. Really enjoyed it so far. Yeah, training's been good. There was 10 of us coming in today. Obviously the French internationals and myself and Matt Whitley. So we had a fitness test to start the day, which wasn't very nice. But then we got into some skills and it was good. There's a lot of new combinations in the side, so as much time on the field as possible can only help us. Yeah, it definitely makes the transition easier. I've known Mickey since I was 15 years old. We've spent a lot of time together, and equally with Matty Smith and Lewis, we've played a lot of games together and won trophies together, and I think those combinations they become second nature after a while. So now the challenge is to make those relationships with some of the players that are already here. It changes for everyone as well as me. We don't want people to say, "Oh, Catalan won one trophy so many years ago." We want to be a side that every single year we compete, and 2019 is the first chance we get to defend our trophy, and keep it in France, because it's a huge boost for not only Catalan Dragons but for French Rugby League. To have one of the two main trophies in France is special. So hopefully we can go on and defend that and go on better and win a grand final. I think it just shows that the team's got masses of potential. But potential doesn't mean anything if you're not playing well. You look at the squad and the ability across the board. There's some phenomenal athletes here, and we just need to be consistent week in, week out. Last year winning 2 from the first 11. That's not what you want to be. You want to start on the front foot and you want to get ahead of the pack and stay there. So I think that's the challenge. But I think winning the Challenge Cup and coming from losing 9 out of your first 11 games, it's not good at the time, but some confidence has to be taken from that, to show that things can turn around, and we don't want to be in that situation next year. We want to start well and finish well. There's only 2 big trophies, Challenge Cup and the Grand Final, and once you get a trophy, you've got to go out there and defend it. And there's a few new faces, but the majority of the squad are the side that went to Wembley and won last year. So making sure that they keep clicking and the new boys come in as smooth as possible. We can only go one better. Yeah, that Steve being in charge was a factor. I've worked with Steve for 5 years at international level, so I knew what Steve was about. When Steve was at Sydney Roosters, I was at New Zealand Warriors, and we kept in touch then. And then obviously I went back to Wigan, and he was at New Zealand Warriors, so we've always kept in touch. And having played for him 5 years before, I knew what he was about, and the way that he spoke about the club was pretty special. Steve wants us to remain French. We're a French side. We represent the French people, but he wants to change people's opinion in the UK on what they think of Catalans. And the way he's gone from £1 million game to winning a Challenge Cup, he's doing something right. So I thought, if he can go from £1 million game to a Challenge Cup, what's next, and something exciting that I want to be a part of. No, never imagined it at all. Early in my career, I never imagined ever leaving Wigan. Wigan's been a huge part of my family for a long time, so I never thought I'd ever leave Wigan. Then I got to a stage where I wanted to change, went to New Zealand for a couple of years, and back to Wigan and felt the same. Felt, you know, I was ready for another change, and the opportunity to come here was a very special one. So I didn't have to think about it for very long. You know, when my agent told me that Catalans were interested, and you know, we didn't speak to any other club apart from Wigan. It was, you know, Wigan or Catalans, and I decided it was a good time. There's a lot of changes at Wigan at the end of last season, and so I felt it was a good time, and you know, to come to an exciting club like Catalans. Off the field, you know, living in a new place, that's nice, but that's not, you know, I didn't move here for the sun, or I didn't move here to learn another language. You know, I moved here for the rugby. You know, that's my, you know, the primary reason for coming was it's an exciting club with a lot of ambition, a lot of potential. You know, off the field, you know, it's a bonus that, you know, my kids will grow up with a bit of sun rather than snow and rain. But you know, my reason for coming was on the field, nothing off.